I was born with multiple pterygium syndrome, and what that is it's rubbing in the joints, and I had them in my knees, my elbows, and God knows what else. And I, because of the joints that I had in my knees, they were like this. It's like, you know how when you go to stand yourself up, you have to put your legs in front of you, and well, my legs were stuck like that. So, which caused it was very difficult for me to sit in a regular chair or just sit. Period. Uh, I was not able to rock. I was barely able to move as it was. I had braces that I had to have on my legs just to uh, protect them from rubbing them on the ground all the time because I that was how I got around, was just scooting across the floor. And I have rubbing in my elbows, which means I'm not able to reach on my head. And so there was a lot of limitation there. Um, I had a lot of trouble in school. I had learning disabilities. I had trouble with math, science, and history. And uh, and so I had to. The teachers would kind of think that I would sometimes just kind of make up, just say I didn't know because I didn't want to do it. And so that was very challenging for me because I had a lot of trouble in school, and so then I went to Cottage Junior High, and that was, I had a pretty good year, years up until my ninth grade year. My ninth grade year was very difficult. I had a teacher that was not, she was very defiant and not wanting me in the classroom very much. And I had actually been not allowed in that classroom. It was a read write class. It was where you went to learn how to read better, and I was no longer allowed in that teacher's class, and so that was even more difficult. We had a lot of battle with that, and that kind of that made me very angry. So which means that it was very hard for me to socialize with people not only my own age but just people in general. And so I just kind of became this very angry kid that did not like anybody, and would so it would show no hesitation to yell. I did a lot of that, and so I went to Puyallup High School, and I kind of carried what I felt in junior high over to my high school. So I still felt I trusted nobody. I was always on guard, and always it was kind of like I'll get them before they can get to me. And so after the first couple years of me being at Puyallup High School, I started to kind of open up more and get more comfortable with people, and I ended up making a lot of friends that I have ever made in high school, and I still talk to them today on Facebook, and so that was, I'm grateful for that. And when I graduated, which was a big accomplishment for me, because I really, by the time I went to high school, mentally, I was done. I was done with school, period. I wanted to drop out, and I was done. School really didn't mean a whole lot to me because I just felt like I had to defend myself more than learning, and that's not, you go to school to learn, and to succeed in your life, and that just wasn't the case for me, and so my parents really wanted me to graduate. Everybody, wanted to graduate, so I, said, okay, well, I'll do it for them. So, here I am. I'm continuing on with school. My 11th grade, when I was in 11th grade, I had para educators to help me through my whole entire school years, from from grade school up, and I had a lot of difficulty working with para educators because they would either do too much, or they kind of got into my business a little more than they needed to. And so it was hard to, I had a hard time getting along with them. And so when I was in 12th grade was really the breaking point for me, because I had a para educator, and she was really great, really helped me out, really helped me out a lot. But then she ended up having some health issues occurring, which caused her to be absent a lot, and so I was found myself by myself a lot. I was, by myself. I didn't know what they were talking about in history class or science class, and so, then I had teachers telling me, well, I'm just making excuses, I still want to do it, and, then, again, I'm done, I said, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, I know, everybody wants me to graduate, but I'm done. And so, I don't really know why, but even though I said I was done, I still continued to go into school every day. So I stuck with it. And toward the end of the school year, I got another para educator, and he was really laid back, really helped me out a lot. It was kind of like, if he wasn't my para educator, he was my friend. And we just really hit it off the rest of the year, which he really helped me graduate. He says that I did it myself, but if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have graduated. So after I graduated, I decided to join the Puyallup Lions Club. Me growing up, I had always, my father and several other members of my family have been involved with the Lions Club, and I always was really fascinated by it. I was always really wanting to know what it was all about. And I remember going down to the Christmas tree sale downtown Puyallup, and just sitting in the trailer. It was a crappy trailer, and the seats were uncomfortable, and I didn't really care because I just liked being down there. I liked feeling like I was a part of it, even though I wasn't a part of it. I still like to do that. And so finally, after I graduated, I joined the Puyallup Lions Club, and I've been a Lions Club member for 2 years now. And I don't always understand what everybody's talking about most of the time, but I just like being there and being involved, and being involved with the Christmas tree sale and the white canes and all sorts of things, because I'm able to talk to a lot of people, and it's just it has really been a great experience for me. So I definitely plan on being a Lions member as long as I can, and yeah. so, so does anybody have any questions or comments or anything?
You were invited to talk on the subject of bullying in school.
Right.
And so you delivered a talk where? Back?
In WSU.
At Wazoo, okay.
At Wazoo, my sister goes to that school, and she was majoring in teaching. She wants to be a teacher, and one of her classes that she was taking was about bullying, about how to handle, as teachers, how to handle somebody that's being bullied or witnessing bullying. And they wanted me to come out and just kind of talk about my experience as a student with disabilities law, and it was a great experience because I was able to just kind of let them know that just because, you know, a student with disabilities, whether it's mental or physically or whatever it is, it's important to always treat that student just the exact way that you would your other students, because it just goes better. And so I did that, and I was really grateful for doing that. So.
Matt, why don't you talk about the decision you made, why you're a double amputee?
Yeah. So as I was saying, I had a rubbing in my knee joints, and so my doctor had tried to have a laser off done on me, which is a huge bracket that goes around the leg. It has pins to go in the leg. Very painful, very long, very lethal weapon kind of process. and I so we tried that, and you know, I got through that, and I'm like, okay, you know, then things are gonna be okay, my legs are gonna improve. Well, what my doctor was finding out was that my legs were gonna slowly go back in the same exact position that they were, because it did fix, it did make it straight, but eventually over time it was going to bend back, and I'm like, you know, how can that happen? And so the only other option was amputation. And, you know, I'm like, well, that's, you know, out the window, that's not gonna happen. And what was gonna end up happening is if I didn't do it, then I was gonna end up not even being able to sit. And I was barely able to sit as it was, and so he said that I wasn't gonna eventually be able to do it at all. So we talked about it for several months. We had talked about it, and you know, I talked it over with my parents. My parents and I had several conversations about it. We were in constant contact with my doctor over email and everything. And so then I finally agreed to made the decision to do the amputation. And so, you know, the day came, well, you know, it was that day where I was going to have my legs amputated. And so I was, you know, of course I was a wreck the whole way down, because it's like, so I go to the operating room, get all ready, and I panic, and I'm like, let me out of here, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. And my doctor actually came in, and he sat down and he talked about how this is the best option for you right now. This is the best thing, and I thought it was cool because doctors don't do that. They don't come in before the surgery and talk. They come in after you're asleep to cut you open and stuff. And so to me that really helped me go through, move forward with that decision. And so then it happened, and then I started finding out about how I'm gonna have the phantom pain and everything, and well, I felt the phantom pain, that's for sure, and it was very severe. For the first few months, it was very severe, very high pain, but then over time, dealing with pain medications and trying to get it under control, it just kind of, it never goes away. That's the thing about phantom pain. It is always there for the rest of your life. But it kind of calms itself down. It's like an easy flow. And the thing is, like right now, that my leg says you can see are gone, but I can still feel, I still kind of feel that sensation that, they're around. And if I take my hand and I go like this, I can feel not the legs, but I can feel the sensation. The phantom pain is going crazy. And, but, a lot of people go, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, I'm so sorry that you had to do that, blah, blah, blah. And it really is the greatest thing I ever could have done. I'm able to I move around a lot more. I play with my dog all the time. I chase my 2-year-old niece around the kitchen and everything, and then I'm finding out that I'm, how old I'm really getting, and so I have a lot of fun. I tried to do the prosthetics. Back in the day when I did that, I did not have a lot of confidence. I was the kind of kid that just wanted to just sit around in my house, watch TV, that kind of thing. I really didn't want to take chances or try new things or anything. If something hurt, then I was done. If something hurt the first time, that was it. And so the prosthetics, they were heavy. They were very heavy to me. I did not have a lot of strength either, so my legs kind of took over. My prosthetics kind of took over, and it was very difficult for me to I spent more time trying to stand up, keeping myself stood up, than walking and moving forward. And everybody was pressuring me to, keep doing it, keep trying, and I did, I was very angry, saying, nasty stuff, and I was, but I after so many years, it just kind of came to the conclusion that it really was not working, and so I kind of stopped doing that. I didn't do that anymore, and I've been trying to decide right now if I want, what kind of a life I want to continue to have. If I want to continue to have the wheelchair life, or I want to continue to have the prosthetic life. And, then I think, well, what's the difference? Because what was happening is the prosthetics were really impacting my independence more than it was without them. And so wrap it up. And so yeah, I mean, I'm happy, and I plan on doing more speeches and trying to make a difference in people, either in school or hospitals or whatever. Because I've seen a lot, I've been through a lot, and yeah, so that's a wrap. So.
What kind